Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes. Human being, American, and YouTuber Roman. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's edition of the Weekend Update. We have some friends already joining us in the chat. My guest a couple of weeks ago on the other side of midnight, Curtis Shelby. Tired midnight blogger himself. Dead man walking. Shadow of the Raven. Troy Pacelli. Matt Cheatwood. Who I'm hoping is secretly Clint Eastwood, but if not, that's good too. I would like to thank all of the new people who have joined the channel, either as members or as subscribers. We're now up to 2,150. I'd like to thank you all for sticking by me over these last 2 or so years. Please make sure to hit the like, share out the stream, let everybody know we're on. And if you are indeed new to the channel, this is the road to 2,500. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and if you are already subscribed, please make sure that you are subscribed, because every once in a while, YouTube will unsubscribe you without your permission. It's passing a father and his daughter. She had a balloon. I looked up and saw this weird, dark, amorphous cloud with a face. This is a holdover from Netters Network's discussion. And hello to Dulcimerist. All right. On with the show. All right. Well, I am going to get right down to it. Anyone who may have missed this week's edition of Action Theater, Jedi Bill and myself simulcasting as usual, and earlier today we watched Inglourious Basterds. So if you would like to, if you have your own copy or if you have access to it online, and you'd like to go back and give that broadcast a listen, please feel free. It was a fun one. And of course, there was the trivia section at the end, like I always do. And hello to Samuel Proctor. This is listening in while watching Planet of the Apes just after finishing the prequel Apes trilogy last week. Right on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get right down to it. And hello to faithful Blue Wrench, the bird woman of YouTube, Fluff Chick Productions herself, Connie Cleary. All right. I would like to remind everyone of a couple of appearances that I'm going to be making that are not on my channel. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. over on Big Al Presents Films with Friends, and we are going to be watching The 13th Warrior. Antonio Banderas, Omar Sharif, Vladimir Kulik. It is a take on the Beowulf legend from the director of Die Hard, John McTiernan, and based on the novel by Michael Crichton, Eaters of the Dead. So join us for that show. And as you heard announced earlier, I am going to be joining the panel this weekend, Saturday night at 10 p.m. I am going to be joining the panel for a Nutters Networks Retro Cinema, and we are going to be watching The Departed, the Oscar-winning Martin Scorsese remake of Infernal Affairs. It's an excellent movie. I'm looking forward to revisiting it again. Then, of course, right after that's over, head on over to Jedi Bill's channel for some after-hours karaoke. I'm going to try and stop by for a few rounds if my voice is still feeling up to it. I've had this cold I haven't been able to shake for about a week and a half now. So it's kind of playing hell with my singing voice, but the show must go on, as it were, so I'm going to do the best that I can. 13th Warrior, flawed but good movie. Yes, and we are going to be talking about that because there were some production shenanigans during the course of that one that kind of changed some things, and we're going to be talking about that. 13th Warrior, but I haven't watched the first 12 yet. But that's okay. I never watched the first 5 Leonard movies. All right, sing us a song. Well, I can't do it on this show because I'll get demonetized. But next karaoke show, I'll be back. All right. And hello to DJ Ronnie G. All right. Well, let's head on over to the first show that is on the list. And this is a show that, of course, I do with Jedi Bill called Action Theater, but this month we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing some Saturday shows as well. And this is our month-long salute to the troops. And this Saturday will be a special episode at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be watching the extended version of Black Hawk Down. And I'm not sure if I've ever seen the longer version. So there might be some scenes in this that maybe I'm seeing for the first time. So join us Saturday at 3:30. Action Theater Extra Dose, the extended version of Black Hawk Down. You can join us with your own physical copy or on Cosme. As you know, during the watch parties, we are unable to air these movies for you live, even though we would very much like to. However, we don't want to get sued and we don't want our channels pulled down. So you're going to have to join us over on Cosme and follow along with us. This kind of modern classic war film based on a true story. All right. And hello in the chat to Bello Triggerfish. Says he's never seen Black Hawk Down. Well, this will be a great opportunity for you to do so. Legolas is in it. Yes, he is. Enjoyable movie, even if they did my boys dirty at the end. Okay. Not quite sure what you're referencing there, Matt, but hey, you know, that's what the chat is for, to discuss these sort of things. Yeah, you can't do this. This is the Sistine Chapel. Yeah, if it's so great, what'd you do with the other 15 chapels? Got you there. Nice. I don't know where that's from. I think he's talking about the Army Rangers. Well, if you're talking about them getting done dirty, I think it was more the politicians who did that shit, man. To be honest. But yeah. So Saturday at 3:30, Black Hawk Down. Oh, okay. I was in the 10th Mountain Division to get a little scene at the end. Yeah. And like I said, I haven't seen I don't believe that I've seen the extended version of it. Yeah. That's because I've read the book as well. I do know that the 10th Mountain Division was more involved with the operation than the movie depicts them as being. So I know that there are things in the movie that are changed, that were condensed. Yeah. So on that basis, man, I can understand your I can understand the complaint. Freaking politicians, yeah. And don't worry, I'll be getting to them this weekend as well. Animaniacs, right on. Get a chance to watch it, I'll try to keep an eye out for that. Yes, indeed. All right. Moving on to the next item on the list. And that is Western Cinema Presents. And we're doing something a little bit different. Sunday is Mother's Day, and we're going to be doing something for the ladies, so to speak. And we are going to be watching The Horse Whisperer, based on the best-selling novel. This is Robert Redford, Kristen Scott Thomas, Sam Neill, and if I remember correctly, was the first film appearance of Scarlett Johansson, very young Scarlett Johansson. I saw this movie once back in the day. I remembered liking it for what it was. So it's going to be interesting to revisit it. This is They're not politicians anymore, just corrupt puppets. Yeah. The Malaysians lost a soldier in the operation. No recognition in the movie. Yeah. Very true. And there was another American that was killed like a couple of days later in the film. I don't believe the film mentions him at all. Matt says, really enjoyed Scarlett Johansson in Lost in Translation. Yeah, I like that movie a lot as well, with Bill Murray. I am a big fan of Lost in Translation. I need to sit down and watch that again. It's been a while. The Malaysian Army APCs were used to transport them out. Yeah. That is in the movie, but they focus on the guys who kind of had to run out of there too, on foot. And the movie chose to focus on them probably because it was more dramatic. But yeah, that is true. The Malaysians were more involved than the movie makes it look like they were. Dulcimeris like Lost in Translation as well. We got some Lost in Translation fans here in the chat. Shadow of the Raven as well. Dulcimeris is another movie I love that is set in Japan is The Ramen Girl. Yeah, I remember that title. I never saw the movie though. The Pakistanis got the acknowledgement. Yeah, also true. All right, but yes, Western Cinema presents one for the moms, The Horse Whisperer. So check it out, and of course, don't forget that Sunday is Mother's Day. All right. Moving on to the next broadcast. Will be this weekend's episode of Unscripted, episode 62, In the Hills of the Cities. Again, a title that has kind of a double meaning. And, we brought up how politicians these days are basically just puppets. And, there was a politician that said something rather stupid, and which I know is nothing new, and quite frankly, I thought also kind of insulting. So, Maxine Waters, meet deleted scenes, because this episode's going to be all about you and why I think you shouldn't be in fucking office anymore. So, episode 62, 8 p.m. Sunday night in the Hills to Cities. And if that title sounds familiar, it comes from a Clive Barker short story. And I thought it was kind of apropos to the episode. So we're going to be looking into that. Because when politicians say something stupid, I'm going to be there. I choose the hills, Matt says. Well, I'm going to be talking about that. The hills are alive with the sound of stupid. Yes. That sounds like a real treat. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Hills are alive with the sounds of preppers. Well, I'm going to be talking about that too, Matt. All right. I saw the Hills Have Eyes horror movie a long time ago. Yeah, so did I. I live on a hill. I have the high ground. All right. So, Unscripted, episode 62, this Sunday night at 8. Unscripted is, of course, the pregame show for Geeky Geezers over on Aged Boomers channel. And after the show, I'm going to send everybody over to Geeky Geezers and see what Boomer and Troy have to talk about. All right. Right after that, get yourself a nice beverage and midnight snack and join me in a surprise panel of special guests for episode 51 of The Other Side of Midnight. Now, Unscripted is the show where I get to vent and I get to be a little bit more political and tend to speak my mind a little bit more. But with The Other Side of Midnight, we get to relax. We get to chill. It's been a long week. We get to hang out with friends. We get to see you in the chat. And stay tuned and find out who will be joining me. 12:05 a.m. Eastern, 11:05 p.m. Central, Sunday night for The Other Side of Midnight. I also want to very quickly acknowledge the two men who made all of the thumbnails that I'm showing you tonight, Fletcher Williams and Jedi Bill. So round of applause to them both. Curtis says, if I'm still here and talk on when the stuff hits the fan, no farmer out here that I think will let me shelter here. Right on. Hopefully it won't come to that. All right, Monday night. Mystery Movie Night at the Regal returns for at least the next 2 weeks. This is a show that is co-hosted by Sin's Corner and myself. We go to the mystery nights at our local Regal cinemas. We don't normally know going in what the movie is going to be, so usually we're fairly surprised. My guess is that this week is going to be Back in Black, the Amy Winehouse biopic. That's what I think this week's movie is going to be. However, I don't know. I could be wrong. Join us Monday night, tentatively scheduled for 10 minutes after 10 p.m. Monday night. That could change. We usually start the show around 10, but I kind of pushed it back a few minutes just in case the movie runs long. So if the time changes, either going back to 10 o'clock or if we have to push it back, we'll let everybody know. But keep an eye out. Monday night, Mystery Movie Night at the Regal returns. All right. Moving on to our next broadcast. And I don't have a thumbnail up for this one yet. But this is the next episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. This, of course, is our Twin Peaks retrospective series. We are in season 2. We are going to be showing episode 27 of the series, entitled The Path to the Black Lodge, which I think is the first of the last 3 episodes of the season. It's 3 or 4. I think it's 3. And this is going to be Tuesday the 14th at 8:30. Troy Pacelli, Netters Network and Aged Boomer, joined me for the show. And we watched the episode. You can follow along with us on Cosme on Paramount Plus or with your own physical copy. And of course, we will be discussing the episode, commenting on it as we're watching along, and all that good stuff. And I'm really happy about how popular this show has become on my channel. The fact that we are bringing fans to the show that maybe weren't familiar with it or didn't see it back in the day. And once season 2 is completed, don't fret, because there's plenty of more episodes coming up. We still have season 3. We have the books that we haven't talked about yet. We're going to be taking a deep dive into the feature film, Fire Walk With Me. And we are also going to be discussing other David Lynch films, including Mulholland Drive, which the director has now stated takes place in the same universe as Twin Peaks. And once you see both the series and that film, I think you'll understand why. So, live from Sparkwood in 21, my Twin Peaks retrospective series, Tuesday night at 8:30. Matt says, oddly enough, I don't know anything about Twin Peaks. Well, now's the time to jump in, Matt. Twin Peaks, Shadow of the Raven says, Twin Peaks. Season 1 and 2 are really good. 3, not so much. I haven't seen 3. When we get to season 3, I'm going to be watching it for the first time. So I'm trying to do my best to stay away from spoilers. I have some theories for what's going to happen. I don't know what my reaction to season 3 is going to be. I'll be seeing it for the first time. Hopefully, I think I'll enjoy it, if for nothing else, than to see most of the actors come back. All right, so live from Sparkwood in 21 next Tuesday night at 8:30. All right. Now this is another link that is not yet available, but at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night, Jedi Bill and I will be hosting a watch party for the final episode of the first season of Fallout. We have been following the show for the last few weeks, taking a couple of episodes at a time. We are now up to the finale, and it'll be a first watch for me. So you will be getting my genuine reaction. And once we have completed the episode, we're going to kind of review the season in general. Raven enjoyed Fallout, and Matt says Fallout was surprisingly good. Yeah. If I have to critique the first 7 episodes, I would say I thought episode 5 was maybe a little slow, but these last couple of episodes really picks up, in particular that 6th episode. I enjoyed that quite a bit. So Wednesday night, Jedi Bill and myself will be simulcasting the watch party for the season finale of Fallout. Also, I want to remind everybody, you might remember about a year and a half or so back, on his Friday Night Last Call series, Troy Pacelli and I did a couple of episodes about the Amazon series Outer Range. And we did 2 shows about it, where we watched the first half of the season and then the second half. And Outer Range will be returning to Amazon for season 2, May the 16th. So stay tuned, and I'm sure we're going to be doing some shows about that as well. Matt says, I was worried all the men would be stupid and incompetent and all the women would be Mary Sue's, but it was a good story. Yeah, I mean, they haven't really thrown any of the woke tropes into it. I'm kind of surprised by that as well. Yeah, I'm I really don't know a whole lot about the games, but I'm definitely going to be looking more into it now. All right. Well, that gets us back on over to next Thursday for Action Theater. 4:30 p.m. next Thursday. And we are going to be watching a movie that is one of my personal favorite films, and that is The Great Escape. Classic World War II film. Huge international cast. That includes Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, James Garner, James Coburn, Donald Pleasence, Richard Attenborough. And it's about a plan to break 250 prisoners out of a German prisoner of war camp. And Bill and I have been wanting to do this movie for a while, and I brought it up again when we were deciding what to see for the month, and Great Escape popped up, and now we're going to take the dive, and we're going to watch we will be watching The Great Escape in its entirety, beginning at 4:30 p.m. The music from The Great Escape is cool too. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. And interesting fact, one of the screenwriters credited for the film is a man named James Clavell. And if that name sounds familiar, he wrote the book that both the 1980 and the recent remake of Shogun was based on. So check that out. Yes. Shogun, yeah. Dirty Dozen is good too. Yeah, we did Dirty Dozen last week. Yeah. Unfortunately, I missed most of that that broadcast. Will you be watching A Bridge Too Far? We don't have it scheduled, and I'm not sure if Bill's done that film yet or not. But we're still looking to maybe add another movie or two to the schedule, so that's definitely one in the we might be watching in the future. Shogun was so good. I haven't seen the new one. Kelly's Heroes. I think Bill's done Kelly's Heroes already. I hear the new Shogun is good. Raven still prefers the original. Yeah. Merrill's Marauders. No, haven't done that one yet. At least not since I've been on, anyway. Darby's Rangers. Okay. But yeah, Bridge Too Far is definitely one to do in the. I'd like to see him do in the future. And of course, we are going to be jumping ahead here just a little bit to Saturday the 18th at 3:30. And we're going to be watching 12 Strong, which is the story of the horse soldiers. These were the first guys who went into Afghanistan when the war started. So not this upcoming Saturday, but the Saturday after, we're going to be watching 12 Strong with Chris Hemsworth. So, all right, folks. That is the upcoming week, and it's going to be a busy one. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me. I still want to do a video or two about the Read What You Own challenge. I am still in the middle of that. Still in the early stages. I'm going to be talking all about it. I do have some film reviews coming out. I've watched some movies over the last couple of weeks that I have yet to review, so stay tuned for those. There's going to be some live ones. There's going to be some episodes that I'm going to kind of pre-record, and then a couple that I'm going to do some short reviews on. So stay tuned for those. All right. I would like to thank everyone who was following along with us on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to thank everyone who joined us here in the chat. Curtis, Dad Man Walking, Raven, Troy, Matt, Dulcimerist, Samuel Proctor, Connie Cleary, Dulcimerist, DJ Ronnie G, Bellow Triggerfish, scrolling down, I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Sashi, all right. And of course, everyone who was lurking in the background. There's always a few. That's quite all right. You do not have to engage with the chat, just as long as you enjoy the show. Hit the like, share out the stream. If you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe. This is our time. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.